Hi, America, and welcome to the Home Front. My name is Michelle Posey. I hope you're ready to have some fun with us today. We've got amazing women here in the studio with us, and of course, we always welcome you to join us. We are about to start, I think we should start, a closed group on Facebook. So if you're like us and you want to get in on some of the conversation, I welcome you to do that. Go to thehomefront.tv. We'll have a link there to the Facebook group. Of course, it's by invite only, so once you come in, we'll approve your, we don't want those bots, is what we're saying. We want real accounts, but we want you to be a part of the conversation. Go to thehomefront.tv. We'll put the Facebook link there so that you can join us in the conversation. But as always, we are open, unapologetic, and uncensored. We are your home for the real news, not fake news. Thank you for joining us today. So today, guys, I had to think, we always have these gadgets with us, these phones with us at all times. So today we're going to go around, you're going to tell me your name, and then you're going to tell me if you had to delete all but just 3 apps on your phone, what 3 apps are going to survive? As we're all like, 1, 2, 3.
Well, first I want to say, I think this Facebook group is going to be amazing because I want to hear what everybody has to say. Like, I want to know your answers to these questions because these are hard questions.
That's good. That's good, yeah.
But I think it's good. I don't know. Probably my bank app. We'll do X because I like X. It's free. It's like, the free speech platform. Elon is trying to make free speech that is indemnified in our Constitution a part of the free market, which I think is important.
Right.
So I would definitely keep X. I don't know what the third one would be. I don't know. Probably Facebook then, I guess. Okay. Although I don't like Zuckerberg. Maybe a shopping app because I like to shop. So
there you go.
It's got to be a shopping app.
Yeah.
But just,
this is a tough one.
It's just easier. Sometimes, because when you go to the store, you spend hours and you're just scrolling through rummaging through the racks, and it just gets messy, and then you got all your kids with you, and sometimes it's just easier to just,
don't shop.
I like that. I like that. How about you, Debbie?
Look,
Can't shop with kids.
You can't. It's hard. It is so hard. And then they're like, "Mommy, I want this," or "I want that," and then they get, whatever. I don't know.
Let me think. So I'm Demi. And that's D-E-M-I, not dummy, but Demi. I had someone ask me that question. I'm like, really?
What?
Gosh. Or Debbie. Someone also said Debbie. But it's Demi, like Demi. And I think my 3 apps would be, like you, I piggyback off of the bank app.
Yeah, it's got to have the bank app.
Signal.
Signal's good, yep.
Yep. And
it's
my
difficult.
third and final, oddly enough, it's because I like to have location on my family. So it would be my locator on where my children and their whereabouts, like Alana when she's out on the road. And I'm like, she's not home yet, 6. Where is she? And I'm like, and I'm tracking her.
Nice.
And
I love that.
Yeah, those would be my 3.
Okay. I agree with
I like that.
Yeah.
That's one of the apps that I would delete so that way my mom can't, stalk me 24/7 like she loves to do.
We would find another way, to be honest.
Now, in all fairness, I do not abuse it. So when she's out with her friends, she's out with her friends. If there's a problem, she'll let me know.
Right.
She'll be like, Mom, I'm safe, but whatever.
It's that
you know
trust
what I mean?
there.
I'm not feeling affirmed.
But she's
right
also
now.
she's also 27.
Oh,
She's not
Yes.
19.
Okay.
She's 27.
fair enough. Well, I'm Brianna, and I think my 3 apps that I would keep is, I had it and then I lost it. Okay, so Snapchat for one, but I don't really consider that social media. I use it to text my friends and stalk their locations, actually. So I really want to talk. And then, let's see, what's another app that I would keep? DoorDash. I cannot live without it. It's so bad.
I don't think we can do this. This is difficult to pick.
See? Yes, it's so
that's
hard.
a good one.
And then I need my photos, because when there's no service, which happens a lot, I can just go through my photos and look back at things. I do that instead of scrolling on social media.
Is that considered an app?
I don't think so. I think
Can I pick another one?
anyway.
Okay, so then I can pick another one. Okay,
Totally good.
TikTok, because TikTok Shop is amazing.
It's fun.
What is it? TikTok Shop?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a shopping app now, in TikTok.
There's lots of things on there.
Got your Mother's Day gift from TikTok Shop that you don't know about.
These $5 shoes I'm wearing.
Is it $5? Is what? No, just kidding.
Well,
That's so cool. Okay, we gotta get on that.
I'm Tanya. Yeah, the 3 apps that I would keep. I really probably only use 3 apps, to be honest with you, like 3 to 5. I am so far away from, like, when I swipe, I get overwhelmed and I can't even look at my phone anymore. I got to get rid of all of them. But TikTok for sure, because I think honestly, the most news, the most stuff going around in the world is on TikTok.
It's on TikTok.
Yeah.
So
Which
now
is why
I
they want to ban
understand
it.
why they want to get rid of it.
Right.
Just saying. And then, obviously, TikTok you can shop on too. So that's another thing.
I
Amazon.
changed my answers.
I don't think I could live without Amazon.
Yeah.
They're at my house like every day. So they would be very sad if I
If
got
we had
rid
a
of
more
them.
conservative thing for that, I think that would be better.
I know. I always hate saying, you're always reluctant to say Amazon.
So wait a minute.
then-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And then Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, yeah.
Right there with DoorDash.
So you're a busy mom, like.
Goodness. Yeah, but
I
do you
don't wanna cook all
realize
the
how
time.
much money you actually spend?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Listen.
On Amazon or DoorDash?
No, on DoorDash or Uber
Wow.
Eats.
Yeah, dude, it's cheaper
Preach
to
right
eat
now,
out than it is to go to a grocery store.
I don't know
Thanks, Joe
about that.
Biden.
I don't know about
Hey,
that. Because
last Saturday, I was very sick and lazy.
Listen.
And I
we
went
can go
on
get
and
it.
ordered breakfast, and everyone thought I was the most amazing mother ever.
What?
They came to the
Mom
door,
points.
they dropped off all
Facts.
kinds of
Been there.
pancakes, and I was
Eggs
like,
and
yeah. Laid
Cheesy
in bed
hash
like,
brown casserole, the best.
yep, I was the best. I was the best.
Mom points.
Yes,
I love
Wow.
it. Oh my gosh. So maybe I don't understand my own question. Is like Maps not? That's an app.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to download
So
it.
we're all gonna be lost.
Yeah,
What
we'll be
about
lost.
Gmail? Is that's an app, right?
Well, here's the thing though.
you
Stuff
can
like
get on that
photos,
online. You can
photos
get
and maps, like you already have that when you get your phone. You turn it on. It's already
Okay.
there.
But it's
so,
still
but
considered an
Gmail-
app, though. That like the
Gmail's on. You can go online.
you can't, like-
Gmail.com.
Yeah.
So I have
that-
to adjust my answers. So I think, gosh, the 3 apps. So my calculator's not an app, right?
No, okay.
It's part of the
Because I
it's a-
need that.
You already have that. Like,
Okay.
those are apps that you
Catching
can
up to-
remove.
like you can't delete that.
Okay, got it.
Calculator.
Because it's like,
That's what she's worried about.
And you hate on Gen Z for not being able to give exact change. I don't want to hear it.
Carry the
Miss
one, I'm
Calculator.
gosh,
We have-
it's real.
Calculator.
So I'm gonna keep.
Throw one in your purse.
I'm gonna keep. Well, here's the thing. I really use it. I use it a lot. I use it like more than I want to tell you right now. But so I would keep X because I think that's just pure entertainment, right? X.
Oh, it's fun.
No, keep X. I have to keep Facebook because I think that's where like we have like the mom wars where you can just get in there like as a mom and just be like a little warrior, keyboard warrior, whatever.
I'm hardly ever on Facebook that much anymore.
Love Facebook. And so, gosh, now the third one is gonna have to be
I think we're just gonna give you a calculator.
for Mother's Day.
I mean,
Okay,
Dang
so
it,
the
gotta
third
return
one
it.
is going to be Instagram. I don't know. I guess if I
Instagram?
have to keep them, it's the social stuff. I just want
Yeah.
to stay social because don't mess with. I guess I'll have my calendar, right? I'll have my.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
good. I'm good. I can handle
That's
that.
all she's worried about is her calculator and her calendar.
I do. I bet if I opened my screen right now and swiped, a calculator would be open.
wow.
Just saying.
Wow.
When you
All
keep
right,
all
so-
your tabs open.
We are so unfiltered. It's like inviting you into our own dining room, guys. So we talked about something at one of the last episodes off camera, and I remember thinking this is something I want to talk about on camera, and especially because we have the wonderful Allie with us. I know your history in service. You've served our country. Many of you watching, either you have served our country or you know that the whole family really joins in and serves when you have somebody away and serving. So I want to discuss some of the issues and some of the treatments that we have for our military. You know, our congressman, Greg Stubbe, for this area, he has a bill that's ready to be signed, if Biden will ever do it, to try to really help fund our VAs, but also give our veterans the opportunity to almost have, I think it's called like TRICARE, where you're able to use any primary care that you want. For example, right here where we live, it's about an hour and a half either direction to a veterans,
yes,
a
the
VA
veterans
clinic,
facility.
a veterans facility. But to be able to almost use it as a primary care where you could go to whatever physician you needed to. One of the big gripes about the VA is that it sometimes can take so long to actually get an appointment. So this would
It
solve
takes
that.
long to get an appointment, and then they're always canceling them. And they cancel them either the day before or 2 days before, and it's an impossible task to try and get another appointment. And then they're always changing your doctor, so you never have the same doctor for a long period of time. Right. And then when you go in there, it's like a pharmaceutical advertisement club. Like they push the vaccine on you, they push medication on you. They don't try to figure anything out for you. They'll only give you like certain outside referrals for like acupuncture or things that actually do help you for a certain amount of time, and then trying to re-up that is like, it's an impossible, it takes an act of Congress, and I don't know if you've noticed, but Congress is kind of busy right now with all of their theatrics. So it's like, it's just, it's frustrating. So I applaud Stubby for that bill. Thank you so much. I just wish more congressmen would be on board with that. And I think there are some local organizations that are trying to push for that as well, like Concerned Veterans for America. They're trying to make sure that our veterans are always taken care of. But another thing I would like to say is that we need to make sure that we have, or encouraging our veterans to run for office and sit in these positions, because we don't have enough of a voice in Congress or in our legislature throughout the state or throughout our states. And so we have people that have never been in the military in a situation like that are making decisions for military, which they don't understand. It's always the suits that cause the problem.
I have a question for you, Allie, on that, and this is just because I don't really have any immediate family in the military. What happens if, you're a veteran and you have like some sort of, maybe not so much an emergency where you need to run to the hospital right away, but it is pretty emergent. How do you get coverage through a normal hospital?
I mean, you're covered through your insurance because you have
as a vet.
As a vet,
so
it's like a vet insurance.
So what's the difference between that and with what you're talking about with this bill, TRICARE? You can go get coverage.
You can, from what I understand, if you have VA benefits, you can only use them at the VA unless it's emergency.
Right.
Is that correct?
Unless.
Yeah.
So like your primary care, if I'm guessing even specialists like urologists.
Right. Well, you have to go, if you go to the ER for any reason, or you go to like a 30-minute clinic, you have to then go to your primary care physician for them to sign off on it. And they give you a limited time. And it's the same with TRICARE. So any family member that's in the part of the service, they have to, if you, like, for example, if I took my kids to the ER for whatever reason, I would have to make sure that I made them an appointment within 72 hours to see their primary care physician, or I'm in charge of the bill.
And you're not, a lot of times what I'm hearing is, you're not able to.
You tell them that you had an emergency and went to the ER, and they'll try and squeeze you in. And it's never longer than like 15 minutes. Like they're
on such a...
It's like a cattle, you know what I mean? It's like a cattle farm. Like they kind of just put you in. You spend more time waiting than you do seeing the doctor.
Allie, you mentioned that you've seen, like when you've gone into the VA, that there are advertisements for pharma. Were they really? I know in the military active duty they were pushing obviously the COVID.
Oh, sometimes worse than VA.
Is it really?
Absolutely, the flu shot and the COVID vax, and it doesn't matter how many times you tell them no. You can tell them no every single time, and to annotate it in your chart. And they will just continue to ask you. It's harassment at that point. Like,
what about mental health coverage? Is that covered? Like, where do you, as a veteran, where do you go for that? Is that still the VA, or
it's still the VA. I mean, they have counselors, they have psychologists, psychiatrists. They mostly push meds, but they do have other options. You can do like, I can't remember what the therapy is, but it's for PTSD, where they hook you up to like these electromagnetic sensors, and they walk you through what you went through, and it's kind of to try to help you relive it, but like without all of the pent up emotion. It helps you walk through the situation, which kind of lessens that stronghold that it holds on to you. And I think it's useful. Everybody that's gone through it, I think it's EMDR is what it's called. Okay. Everyone that's gone through it has really good responses, but it just takes the work. It requires work on you to do it, and a good psychologist to help you through it. Because most vets don't want to take meds because they're on the meds, and it's like meds.
Well, and so I'm thinking, there's probably a lack of funding. That's what somebody's going to tell me, is there's a lack of funding. But how much money are we spending on those that are coming here illegally? They're getting debit cards. They're getting
$1,500
hotel housing. They're
free
getting
housing.
What about the billions and this being shipped off
In
to
Ukraine. Yeah, like all of that money could be for our American infrastructure
Yeah,
and
why
going to
not?
taking care of our vets, the ones that have sacrificed the most for our country. I don't see why that's not a freaking priority.
It's not just like politics too, though. It's also like the entertainment industry. Like the Met Gala that just passed. Do you know how much a ticket is?
Oh,
$75,000.
Yeah, why?
That's just a ticket.
Yeah, why?
For the dress, the outfits, everything.
No way.
Don't even get me started.
for the Met. 75. What do you get?
I don't know. Food? That's like from Costco? I don't know.
That's
Oh
horrible.
my gosh, that's
That's
crazy.
horrible.
Didn't they pass out like pizza, like slices of pizza in paper bags one time? At like an award ceremony?
Yeah,
wasn't
that
it? Yeah,
stuff
right?
anymore.
Like it's
So
just
sad.
wild.
Oh my
Like
So disgusting.
That's
I saw
so gross.
clips on TikTok, which
Literally, like one of the stars showed up in like a towel. It's like,
What?
yeah.
yeah.
What about the sand lady? She said it was a sand
Yeah,
dress.
I mean, that was
I saw
kinda
them
cool, but-
pick her up.
Yeah.
Oh, but they had to like pick her up and put her. I mean, you can't even walk in your own
Yeah.
dress.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh my
That's just
gosh. Well,
ridiculous.
we are discussing obviously those that have already served in our military. I want to tell you someone that we love dearly here at the home front. That's General Michael Flynn.
Yes.
Obviously served his country and is now fighting for his country a little bit differently, but he's helping to wake America up, obviously, for the endless wars and where that money's going to. But you've got to hear it out of his own mouth. You've got to hear his story. We've heard lamestream media try to tell their story, and you need to be able to hear it from General Michael Flynn. If you go to flynnmovie.us, flynnmovie.us, you'll be able to not only get the DVD, but you'll be able to find out more about where you can download the movie. I say you make it a movie night. One click on Amazon, you'll be able to download the movie and share it. I think you should navigate over to flynnmovie.us while we take a quick break. Stay tuned for more of the Home Front. We'll be right back.
Pleading guilty today to lying to the FBI.
Flynn knew exactly how the system worked. He knew exactly what the intel world had been up to. He understood its funding. They had to get rid of Flynn.
There was a moment where I just felt like I was drowning. And so I'm in there with these other political appointees. They're all supposed to go in there and tell what they believe to be the truth. What they did was they took my assessment and they wanted me to change it. And I was like, I'm not changing it.
He was, by definition, the most dangerous possible person for Donald Trump to hire.
President Obama said, but I do have one specific recommendation. Stay away from Michael Flynn. He's bad news.
Over time, instead of being pounded down below the surface of the ocean, we started to fight. I'm now above the surface.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
A lot of people are having great success with a weight management program with Bella Trim, but it's just a tool. In terms of ingredients, Chromex or chromium picolinate improves the actions of insulin, so you have better glucose management, and in addition, it promotes fat utilization. Fat utilization, or fat burning, is also a feature of metabolate, which are two botanicals that stimulate a switch called AMP kinase, and so you tend to burn fat, reduce belly fat or visceral fat. Who doesn't want that? Metabolite has the ability to stimulate satiety or reduce those cravings. That's really very, very important. And it does that by raising GLP-1 levels. In addition, we've addressed the microbiome by using prebiotics. Healthier microbiome, better weight management.
Welcome back to the Homefront America. We are here having a discussion about something that's probably needed to be discussed more on mainstream media. We need to talk about it more with our families, how we treat those who have already served for our country, our veterans. I know during the quick break, we were sharing some personal stories as we do here. I know, Demi, you had a personal story, really.
Yeah. So my brother-in-law served 15 years ago, and something very traumatic occurred. And during that time, they thought it would be best to give him drugs, like actual street drugs, to help medicate him. But he didn't realize that that's what was happening. And he didn't later realize until he went for drug testing when he was here in the States, and he actually lived in Orlando, Florida area. And it was horrible because he had to then do rehab treatments. And it was just, you almost never come back from that. Any little thing can trigger, and then you're going to go back to going to whatever drug it was that they provided you with. But this was our own government. Our own government did that overseas. And it just, I don't know.
The lack of informed consent drives me nuts.
Yes.
So that's
they don't
happening
tell
in the
you
military.
anything.
Yes.
When you go through that line at boot camp, they don't tell you what they're giving you.
Nope.
You get shot up with like 12 different shots, and you have absolutely no idea what it is.
On the videos where everybody they're lined up and they're just boom, boom, and then they just keep walking in like
yeah,
a procession.
pretty much. I mean, you're
This is
in
a
a
shock.
line.
This
You're
is
in
a
a
shock
line.
to Brianna.
They tell you, they ask you your name, your social, and all this stuff, all your personal identifying information, so they make sure that they have it right. Then you sit down in the chair, and then you're given like 6 shots in one arm, and then you go to the next one, you get 6 more in the other. It's like,
And you're
and they
not told what
they
it
have
is.
no idea. You have no idea what they're giving you. They tell you that it's just to boosters. We're just giving you boosters because you're behind on these
Boosters
things.
for
But
what?
exactly, like
they don't identify because you're going to another country, and so they don't want you to come back with their diseases, quote unquote. But that's not
right
accurate.
out of boot camp though. Like when you
Right.
get into boot camp, like you're not going to a different country. You
Yeah.
still have 8 to 10 weeks for boot camp, and then after that you go to your training, which is your job training, AITs, military. I don't know what it's called for other branches. Forgive me, but it's your job training, and that's anywhere between 12 weeks to like 6 to 9 months to a year. So you're not leaving the States.
Do you ever find out?
No,
what-
I mean,
No,
it's
they
probably
don't
in your
tell you.
records, but even asking for your personal records is like pulling teeth.
Really?
Yes, and they're yours, but it takes them forever. A lot of times they're lost or missing. Like the government doesn't do anything effective. So stop trying to lean on the government for it to be your daddy. Like
So-
it's not a good daddy.
I look back at so the day after 9/11 happened, the amount of patriotism in the country, people signed up to fight because we wanted to defend our country. So what do we do with that patriotism in this generation that wants to sign up and help? They want to fight for their country, because I've had this conversation with my young adult kids, and under the current regime, I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't trust. Like, you do what you need to do, but I don't really. If I could advise you, I don't think it's a good idea. But I hate saying that because we need strong men and women in our military.
I thought about National Guard. My brother thought about Air Force, but we both were just like, no.
Especially when they're pushing the COVID vax. I mean, they kicked out a large portion of our military because they wouldn't get a vaccination. Like, you are not owned by the government. Your sovereignty as a person does not belong to the government just because you signed up and you said, I want to support and defend the Constitution and defend it from terrorists, foreign and domestic. Like, it doesn't make you owned, right? Like, I'm not a slave to my government, and I don't fight for my government. I fight for my country. I fight for the people in my country. I fight for the ones that are at home, my family at home.
That's good
right?
too,
I don't fight for the suits sitting in Congress. Like, that's not what that's supposed to be for. So for them to completely ignore religious exemptions, and for them to
Wait, did they?
They did.
Yes.
They ignored religious exemptions and
What about-
still kicked people out.
What about medical? Would they allow medical?
No. If it's a medical exemption, you are considered non-deployable, and if you're non-deployable, they kick you out.
What?
Yep.
That's insane.
Yep.
I did not know any of this. I mean, I knew they were kind of being
You're
backed up to a wall.
welcome.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's why we're here with the home front. Because
Yeah.
how many of us do not
It's
know
frustrating. It really is frustrating when you've been in it, and I still have family and friends that are still in, and so the stories I'm hearing now about what's going on with like Ukraine and Gaza and Niger, and it's just we have military members, like we have people up in Congress and Secretary of Defense are like, we don't have boots on the ground, but if they're fired upon, they can fire back. That's boots on the ground, okay? And then you sit there and you're like, then you hear from the service members and they're experiencing stop loss, which means that they're not allowed to get out. They have to stay in because there is a pending war. That's what stop loss is. But they want to keep it quiet.
Like, so our military that's currently overseas, like either in...
It depends on what job. It depends on where you're located. Depends on what unit you're in. And some people are experiencing stop loss, which is they're not allowed to. They're close to their end of service date, and they're being told that they can't get out.
Wait, so if you're serving and like, let's say like back when COVID first was like became a thing, if you were already like an active serving, and then you like they started pushing the vaccine, so you had a medical exemption, were you given like a dishonorable discharge or
No,
what?
it was honorable.
Okay.
It was honorable. They were honorable, but you just
Did they give you any like stipend or like bonus? Because like you're just out of a job now.
you're just out of a job.
The heck?
Go find something else to do.
Well, and part of what that did, in my opinion, is that it almost created an environment in our military of, if you're going to question these things, we don't need you.
Right.
We need you to kind of just nod your head and do what we need to do. And that's a lot of the strong people that are in our military, that's like anti-everything they are, right? They naturally question, they naturally push back. And so it makes me nervous about now, what are we going to see in this next generation of military?
Well, it used to be. I mean, there is a clause where you don't have to follow, what is it? Like orders that are unlawful, like unethical or whatever it is.
Right.
I can't, forgive me, it's been a while. But that becomes a problem when you have the weaponization of power. So when people are in positions of power, and they hold your career over you, and you're like, well, I have to feed my family, and I don't really know how my job translates into the civilian sector, and I've been doing this for 10, 15 years, and I question this, and I don't, abide by unlawful orders, which are mandates, by the way. It's like, how am I supposed to push back on that, especially if I'm the only one? And then you are subject to UCMJ, right, which is the uniformed, it's military court.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. So it's
Yeah.
You're not even going through our court system, which
you're going
is
through military court because it's military uniform code of justice. It's frustrating.
These are the stories that I think you and I, if we're not actively involved in this, you don't hear about it. But I've been hearing about it. I know my brother is he loves being in the military. He's gone back to serve. He got out for a little bit, went back. He is
there's nothing like
currently
it.
overseas. He loves it. But one of the, I noticed one of the posts he made that I think Just Family saw was talking about some of the budget cuts that they're making to even like the barracks, like where people sleep, that where your family is, some of the bases where you
they're
have
falling apart. Well, that's what happens when you privatize. When you go privatize, and everything is cheaply made, cheaply put together, it's cookie cutter, and then nobody is held accountable for the way that the barracks are upheld and for the way that the housing is upheld. It's almost like they're second-class citizens, or they're like working poor. Like it's just they're not paid a lot for their sacrifice. The families sacrifice as well. The schools that the kids go to aren't fantastic, and
But I see like, commercials and advertisements everywhere. It's like, trying to recruit people, yet they have enough money to reject people if they don't have like, or like if they need like an exemption from the vaccine and they can't afford like good barracks for the people who serve. But they can put money towards, commercials and advertisements to recruit more people.
I think they said it was down like 10,000 a month.
It is. Recruitment's down.
Recruitment. They can't get anybody.
Well, because
Nobody
they're pushing DEI and transgender
know.
BS in the military. Like we have soldiers that are in Nigeria right now that can't get access to their medication. Can you imagine if there was a gender bender there who couldn't get access to their hormones? Like.
That's right. I read something. So I think it was Matt Gaetz that was on took to social media was talking about it. Can you educate me a little bit on what's happening in Nigeria? Don't we have? It's not like
there's
hostage.
been like something. I can't concentrate on be a concentrated voice for this because I've only kind of dug in a little surface level, a little deeper than surface level. But from what I'm aware of, there was a coup that occurred in Nigeria that our government was aware of, and they've completely abandoned our military that are there. And so they have no access to clean water.
That sounds
they
like
have
like
no
a Benghazi where they're not getting
exactly that. Exactly that. And so Matt Gaetz is getting all of this information from constituents that are there, that are of his, and it's concerning to not just Gaetz, but Eli Crane, Representative Corey Mills, like all of the military that have actually served in our military are like, the red flags are going off. Like we have to prevent another Benghazi because that's exactly what this is going to be. And then the Secretary of Defense is just like, well, we have no information on what that really means. It's like,
they have no information.
It is so frustrating watching those congressional meetings.
Oh yes, definitely.
Highly frustrating.
It was frustrating watching after the Benghazi attack, watching those servicemen then come back in caskets, and our Commander-in-Chief is sitting there checking his watch.
Commander-in-Thief is
first of all, Biden, like you can tell time. Somebody. It's
so disrespectful.
But if he's late for
that is a digital clock of all things.
If he's late for his next pill, y'all know he won't be standing there. So he's got us.
Oh my goodness. So let me drive the conversation a little bit differently. Let's talk about when they return home. I know we've talked about military care, like in the VA, the kind of care that they get, but what I hear a lot talked about around family is PTSD and how we are handling that. Are they getting the care they need, do you think?
I don't really think so, because you're afraid as a service member to come forward and say I have a problem, because the moment you do that, your portfolio is labeled, and then you're watched, and then you can't go back overseas, and then you have survivor's guilt. Yeah, you have survivor's guilt, and then it's like this whole big cycle of I have more to do. I'm still,
Well, and you have talked before, Allie, about the camaraderie that you have when you're serving. I mean, I can imagine you're
now, mind you, I've never been overseas, you guys. This is just my understanding of.
But I can imagine
dealing with family members and
when
friends.
you're overseas and you're in maybe a war-torn area. You're going to cling that much tighter to the people that you're there with because they're watching your back, you're watching theirs. To come back and think that, I don't know, the Kardashians are something that's got to be really like a culture shock. Like I was just 2 weeks ago fighting for my life. Now I'm back here. How do they get back into regular?
I don't think you do.
I have to agree with you. If you want to do a comparison, look about let's think about people who go to jail for X amount of years.
Yeah.
And they are coming out to a whole new world with electronics or just the way things are operating, the new slang, the new dress wear, or whatever. Some of them end up going back, believe it or not. Like, I don't know. How many people do you know that has gone through that? Maybe you should send us a note and let us know how you dealt with it.
On the Facebook page.
Well, I know of people that have volunteered tour after tour after tour after tour. They come home for like 2-3 weeks, a couple months, and they're like, I got to go back.
I can't handle
I got to go back. Because it's like your idle hands.
And that's what prisoners do. They always end up going back.
You're right.
They always end up going back.
Trauma bonding. That's really what it is. It's a trauma bond.
Probably hard to relate.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like not even close, but when I was a medic and on the ambulance, and I couldn't really talk about the stuff that I saw.
Right, because nobody understands.
Nobody understood, or everyone was like, oh, that's awful.
Too much. Can we not talk about that?
So I remember feeling very alone during that period of time.
And then imagine coming home and you got all these kids running around and all this noise, and you know what I'm saying?
And everything startles you.
I'm
Yeah,
sure that's
it's rough.
difficult. And that's why I say the whole family serves.
whole
Well,
family
even,
serves.
I know we've talked, Demi, about your beautiful daughter, Alana. She's
Yes.
a
Law
law
enforcement.
enforcement.
Yes.
So just like our first responders, I can imagine that is difficult because
Yes.
there's things that they can't, how do they detox from what they've handled on their shift?
And you know what? She doesn't come home to tell us any of it.
Yeah.
So how is she handling it? That's a great question.
Workout.
And I've been
Camaraderie.
wondering about that because there are times where I'm like, okay, so there was only one time where she shared with me something, and I don't believe I'm at liberty to share, but when she did share, I'm like, oh, this is just this one little thing. What about when she finds dead bodies or
Yeah.
when she is going into a live shooting,
Children.
which actually took place on Clark Road in Sarasota.
That's
She was
right.
there for that at the veterinarian's office.
Wow.
She was the responding officer
Oh my
along with
gosh.
2 others or law enforcers. And yeah,
This stuff
the other
lives with
night-
you.
The other night, I guess she got called in before. I'm laughing because it's 2 animals. One, I called her several weeks ago on my way up to the Panhandles, and I'm like, 911, what's your, what's the emergency? I'm like, there's 2 cows on the road. She happens to be the responding law enforcer.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh my word. And then the other one was just herself the other day. I think it was just this week. What day is it? Thursday, something like that. And she was responding to a gator call.
Oh my.
A gator
A
call.
gator, like an alligator. I'm like, oh my gosh. But those are, funny things to talk about.
Right.
But the more serious, heavy, deep ones,
It's hard.
yeah. It's just disheartening what they all go through. Not just our militants, but our law enforcers,
All of our first
paramedics,
responders,
all
right,
our first
paramedics.
And then a lot of them, when they come home, they have to do, or they don't have to, but they do a tour, not a tour, but like they do this service where they bury their friends, essentially, or their other service members. They have, I can't remember what it's called right now off the top of my head. Funeral detail. Funeral detail is what it's called.
Well, if you're watching this,
That's rough.
we did call the show The Home Front because the idea is that we are in some sort of war footing because we see where our country's going. We see the things that are happening, not just in Washington, D.C., but even right here in your own backyard. It does feel like there is a good versus evil. There is a pull to try to dismantle everything that makes us American. The Home Front wants to tell our veterans, both active duty and those that have already served, that we love you, we stand with you. We are starting a Facebook group. It's going to be a private group where you can even post anonymously. We would love to have you on there to join and speak about some of the things that have occurred, some of the things that you want to get off your chest. Express to us some of the things that maybe you found wonderful about the military and some things that are concerning, because to outsiders who do not walk in that realm, we want to be able to help, but sometimes we're unaware.
Or even some solutions, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are some quality solutions that you think can be implemented to help make our military better?
Right.
Or to help make our veterans' services better? I would like to hear that.
And that goes
so
with our
good.
first responders
Yes.
too. Teachers, you're inside the schools. We need to hear from you as well. If you want to get hooked up with that Facebook page, I want you to go to thehomefront.tv. We're going to have a link there. That way you can get signed up to be a part of that Facebook group. I look forward to doing that. We're going to be right back after this break. More with the Home Front. Stay tuned.
Ever. We're all experiencing unprecedented rising prices, but I was able to secure a limited amount of Giza cotton for a great price, and I'm going to pass those savings directly on to you. Get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $29.98 with your promo code. They're the most luxurious sheets ever, made with the world's finest cotton. Grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River, where the weather conditions are perfect for growing cotton. My sheets are ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. I guarantee they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 50% on my Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.98. Quantities are extremely limited at these amazing prices, so please order now.
I'm General Mike Flynn. Patriotism in America is under attack. America is the greatest country in history. Every home in America should proudly display their pride. Every home in America should fly Old Glory. And that is why at MAGA Realty, we give every home buyer a 25-foot flagpole and an American flag. Contact us today at MAGA Realty, where we will fight as hard for you as we do for America. Go to MAGARealty.com, MAGARealty.com.
Hello, America. Welcome back to the home front. We were just discussing a little bit during the commercial break that, we're going to shift the conversation a little bit. We had talked before on another episode about the college campus protests, and we went on and on. Hopefully you've already seen that. There's been many college campuses that have now chosen to do classes remotely for the rest of the school year at the tune of whatever you're paying for that college tuition, $70,000 a year, because they couldn't get the college campuses under control. But then a group of fraternity boys came into one. Do you know what college campus it was? They showed up with the American flag.
University of North Carolina.
UNC. Yeah, showed up, and it's they brought the American flag out. It was kind of like they had finally had enough. And I want to commend our youth, because that's an age group that you want to go along with what's being done. The last thing you want to do is to kind of push back at that age and stand out, but they did, and they did it in defense of our country. And so I don't know. I just wanted to see what some of your response was to that.
I don't usually trust frat boys, but I was impressed. I'm sorry, they're bad news, except for one retired frat boy that I know. I'm like, all right, he's all right.
Retired frat boy.
Because he's no longer a frat boy.
Oh, okay.
He graduated?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I kind of think once you're in, you're kind of in for life, kind of thing.
Yeah, he has his moments.
So
he has his moments where I'm like, no.
I don't know.
But Brianna, because you're in that age group, so I have to ask you this. So, if you're in a situation where you see something going on, whether it's wrong or it's because somebody's saying something is inaccurate, something about our country, or just defying our what our country is, trying to say that it's something that it's not. Are you at your age? Do you feel like your age group is more prone to go along with that, or? I'm seeing a smirk. I don't know.
Well, if you're asking about my age group, like other people my age, I feel like it's a complete divide. Like you're either one or the other. There's really no in between. You're either drinking the Kool-Aid or you're out with your ARs, with your flags. Like,
oh my gosh. So it's just like every age group.
Yeah. I guess so.
But what about you specifically? Is that hard for? Is it hard to stand up to?
Michelle, last night I put Women's for Trump flag on the roof of my car. What do you think?
She did. Yeah, it's in there. Okay, so maybe the wrong crowd. No.
You know my answer.
Because as adults, it can get hard, right? Sometimes I think about the first time that you had to finally give a little bit of pushback because somebody said, you couldn't say that or you couldn't post that.
Right.
Well, I think it's also interesting, like, I see people put, like, bumper stickers on their cars of things that they're interested in. And it's like, no one really cares. But as, like, I have some stickers on my car.
She does.
Anyways, and like I haven't
cute.
gotten as many like bad responses, but I do notice like some road rage, and it's like, what's the difference? Like, it just has to do with like my country.
I'm not angry at the stickers you have on the back of your car with your stick family and all the rainbow colors.
Like, what's the difference? It's just a sticker.
I'm so mad. Your children play soccer. Football's better. Like, what are we doing?
Exactly.
It's just a sticker.
Are
you that triggered?
Someone that says I voted for Biden.
I do. I roll my eyes. I roll my eyes. I'm like,
but
oh
I don't
boy.
say anything.
But Lord help this person.
Maybe,
No, I roll up next to my.
Right?
Exactly.
No, on our way here, driving here, we saw a semi, and on the back of the truck where you close the doors, it had a Trump 2024 flag, and my daughter was like losing her mind. She was like, "Mom, it's a Trump flag!"
That's so cute.
So great.
See, I don't see what the issue is with just wanting to represent the country that you're freaking living in.
Right.
Like,
yeah, why not?
Politics.
You're right.
Right.
You're so right. I should have a Colombian flag, even though I have no association with Colombia.
Right, I know.
Or Palestinian flag, and I have no association with Palestine.
Oh, that's another thing. Like the graduation ceremony they just had.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They all, hundreds.
What is
they came
this?
in the hundreds with the Palestinian flag, and I'm like, it's a college graduation.
Yes.
You are robbing them of this. They were already robbed of their
High
high
school.
school graduation,
Yeah.
their high school, proms and dances. Now you're robbing their graduation, and it's okay. It's acceptable. Listen, I'm
It's
so
bad.
done with, let's be sensitive to their
No.
needs. Let's be sensitive to what they
just
feel and
freaking
think.
grow a pair.
No, grow a pair.
Grow?
Yes.
Grow a pair, people.
A pair.
That's how I feel.
I'm not feeling affirmed anymore on this.
No, seriously, I get that. I mean, at first I kind of questioned because I love the idea of having our college kids step up to this, right, and push back on what's going on, which is great, phenomenal. They ended up having this GoFundMe, and it went viral.
That's right.
The
Oh, yeah.
GoFundMe had about I think it's now up to like $500,000, which is great. It's phenomenal. They want to throw like a party. I'm like, all right, sure. Do we really want to do this though? For Frat Boys?
$500,000
I don't know. But I guess it's just the mom in me. Like I'm a killjoy when it comes to that. Like, can we please use this responsibly? Like, can we just please?
Seriously.
But I also think it was a way to point out how sensational we are on both sides. So we'll fund frat boys to have a party, but we won't fund candidates that will go to make a difference.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a great valid point.
And I got a lot of pushback from that.
Did
And
you?
I did. And I'm like, they're like, oh, well, we give to these people all the time and they get there and they don't do anything. I'm like, yeah, well, because you're not also supporting them while they're there.
Yeah.
It's one thing to support them while they're on the campaign trail, but it's a totally other thing, totally different thing to support them while they're actually serving in office.
Right.
They need to know that they're connected to their constituents while they're serving. If there is no connection there and there's no relationship built there, they're going to go with who donates the most. And who donates the most? Big corporations
Right.
and lobbyists.
And lobbyists.
But we are the biggest lobbyists. So if we're going to put $2,500 or $400, $400,000 into a campaign for college students to go have a party because they've raised the American flag, sure. But can we also put that same energy towards our candidates that are trying to save this country?
Yeah.
Like
That is
Absolutely.
Here.
And that kind of hits home because I'm somebody that is running for office, but as you know, sometimes when you're not the establishment candidate, more of a grassroots candidate, you have to think
Boots on the
outside of the box, right, on how you're going to run your campaign. So I do hear what you're saying. If they're donating $500,000 to these guys, in my mom brain, I'm like, okay, they should each have to put this much away for a down payment on a house.
Right, or down payment on a
you
car.
know.
Like, are we splitting this evenly? Like, what? You know what
Pay
I'm saying?
back your college tuition
Be
first.
smart with the money. Like, I'm glad that this is what you're doing. Be smart with it. Just be smart.
Be
with it.
smart. Be smart. And that, oh my gosh.
And thank you for
agreed.
stepping up. Like, it is so needed,
Yeah.
and it went viral, right? Like, their courage sparked courage in other college campuses where there were more people that were out. I mean, I think you were talking about, Tanya, where they were out. I can't remember what college it was, but there were groups of students that were singing the national anthem while they were protesting.
No, they were sleeping in their tents at night, and they got out bullhorns and started.
Yes.
Wait. What?
That
Yes.
one was
Yes.
good too.
I
but
wanted to show that
I
video.
saw the one where they were doing
It was
chanting
like
USA.
1, 2 o'clock in the
But
morning,
yes.
and they were singing the national anthem. When they all, all the protesters went into their tents, curled up for the night because it's sleepy
I
time.
heard the one where he did "Good Morning Vietnam."
Yeah.
Like that was the best. I'm like,
Oh my
where are
gosh.
all the drill sergeants from every single branch to go down to these college campuses in these encampments and just Shark Week the heck out of them. I can't
so
wait.
they went in to go night-night.
Yeah.
And
They took their melatonin, their gummy melatonin, and then they. And then they went
their
in,
lives are
sleepy,
so
sleepy,
hard.
and then
Sleepy.
and then there was just really beautiful singing.
Yeah.
The national anthem. They all came out and they started singing with
Beautiful.
bullhorns.
Yeah.
And just you could see them kind of rustling in there, trying to come out of their little coma.
It becomes a trend. When it becomes a trend, then people will follow suit.
It's
Yes.
just so ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, that's
Patriotism needs to be a trend again.
Patriotism
Listen, it
has
just-
to be a trend.
It just
always.
takes one voice to open the mouth and say something.
So bravo, boys, at
Honestly,
UNC.
That's
But
good
I've
job.
noticed
Good
when,
job.
when I started to really notice, like my friends and people I surround myself with become more patriotic, was last 4th of July. There was a TikTok trend, and it was like, my pronouns are USA, and then it was like an eagle going, ah!
Oh, that's awesome.
And everyone was kind of like like decked out and like
Yeah.
4th of July stuff, and then it like became
my
a trend
goodness.
from there.
That's good.
That's so cool.
I think that's
actually.
counter culture.
How did I miss that? When was this?
It was like last.
Well, she
last
said
4th of July.
our age group doesn't catch on to things
Yeah,
for
you
a year.
guys catch things
So-
late.
I'm so here for it.
Close. I'm close.
I'm
to
so
the
here
age.
for it. What, is that
Oh
circa
my
2022?
God. That's funny.
We could start it this year.
The look that she gives you,
I
Michelle, is epic.
I love it. I love it. Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
I'm so here for it.
Bite my tongue.
Part of what I love about this, about the camaraderie here too, and I hope you can feel it there too at home, is that, we weren't afraid to bring people in from all ages, from all backgrounds. Our, I guess, Gen Z population needs to feel like they're a part of the conversation.
Yes.
We need to be able to have that back and forth. They need to be able to tell me that I'm not cool anymore. And I need to be able to tell them this is what we're fighting for, sweetheart. So I hope you understand that's part of our philosophy here at the Home Front. I hope you feel it at home. If you do, I encourage you to even reach out to family and friends, coworkers. Maybe you've got a Gen Z or a college student that you would like to see the show. Please share the platform where you're seeing the show. We are on daily on Patriot.tv, and Patriot.tv is only the tip of the iceberg. They are going to be bigger than you probably realize right now, so I hope you share it. That was my little bit, sorry.
I would just like to say that I'm the only one that can say that she's not cool. Okay? If you try to tell her that she is not cool, I will come after you.
I love it. I love
Only
it.
I can make fun
Those
of you.
are fighting words.
Those are fighting words.
Words are violence, Brianna.
Oh, don't even get me started.
You know, since we
Do you
were
want a
talking,
gummy melatonin, Allie? Go night-night.
Oh my gosh. Dude, when I tell you the amount of boys my age that I have to babysit their feelings, I'm like, when did I have bigger
back
balls
away
than
from
you?
that. Yeah, you gotta back away from that.
You heard
she went there. She went
All
there.
right, it's
She
you
said it.
uncensored.
Uncensored, but
Give it,
that's my
girl.
girl.
We got
Make
it.
men again.
We got
Yes,
Make men.
I love it.
men again.
Like, so there's a difference between being in touch with your emotions, right, and not letting
Right.
your emotions control you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it's I love a man that's in touch with his feelings, but when it becomes your identity and you become more feminine, then you're forcing me into my masculine, and I'm not okay with that. Like,
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes, that's why
I'm
I'm
not-
holding out on relationships, because
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a man that makes
Good
me
girl.
feel comfortable in my femininity.
good.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, that's good.
every relationship I've been in, I've been the one that wears the freaking pants.
I mean, there's a time and place, but
Well, but here's the thing too. I feel like we have confused. I don't even want to know.
With you, Allie.
We'll fix that.
Oh my God.
post,
Here
I
at
don't
the
know.
camera.
Edit it in post.
I feel like we've confused men too, because I can remember. So my son is a young adult in his early 20s, but there was a time when we did do public school early on where he was getting write-ups about some of the stupidest things, and I was like, he's a boy. He's gonna take his hand and he's gonna go bang bang. That's what they do. Do you know? I have to share this because oh gosh, you just lit my fire. Okay, in preschool, I'm not gonna name the preschool. In preschool, I got called in. They said we're gonna have an issue. I said, oh my gosh, what is he doing? Is he like fighting? Did he light a fire? Is he like No, but he has to stop with the playing like play guns. Well, do you have like a gun? Was he like play? What they said? No, he went into the kitchen area with the little kitchenette things that they had. Took the spatula and was like, psh, 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 and I was like, he's a boy, and they were like, well, we don't do that here.
See, there we go again.
It's
They
so
do
everything.
this-
He's thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. And then boom, they become young adults, and it's like, wait a minute. No, I'm actually called to protect my home.
gun control, preschool style.
Absolutely. I want to apologize to like our boys, because I feel like we kind of did it through this is what we've done for the last 20 years to some extent, especially in schools. And now we need to let them know, no, I'm sorry, it's okay. We love you being men and being boys. Like, be who you are. Yeah.
I think that it also has something to do with the fact that, like, we kind of, for a while, boys were raised as like, no, what are you doing with a baby doll? Like, oh, so you're gay?
Yeah.
Where, and now it's like the complete opposite. And there has to be a balance. Like, if my son will play with baby dolls because I feel like that's
He's gonna be a dad.
a good father.
Right.
But he's also gonna play with guns. Like,
Yes.
there's a balance, and there is nothing more manly
And
than
he
a
should
man
learn how to
who
cook.
Yes.
Because, excuse me, you don't have to depend on any woman to cook your meals for you. Thank you very much. Be
Absolutely.
self-sufficient and cook yourself a meal.
Yes. And like, there's nothing more manly and more attractive than a man who knows when there's a time to be sensitive and a time to step up and defend your woman. Like,
Well, when you talk about cooking, I'm going to just out myself right here. My husband is the cook,
Yes.
the best cook of the family.
I'm sorry.
I mean, did
I don't
you hear
mean
that?
I don't mean to agree so fast, but his eggs. Oh, his eggs and bacon, bro.
The kids will come in, they're like, you want some dinner? Who's cooking? That's not what I asked you.
Literally every morning, she's like, "Oh, there's eggs and bacon for breakfast," and I'm like, "Who made it?"
Oh no.
But he is such a good cook. Like, it's okay. It's okay. He's so wonderful.
That's awesome.
Wonderfully
I'm hungry
Italian
now.
cook. Guys, so we here at the Homefront, we like to give you homework from the Homefront. So we like to be able to send you off with like a call to action. I would urge for you to call your local, your senators, your congressmen, those that serve in Washington, D.C., and I want you to ask them to please support Representative Stubbe's new bill that's going to be coming out in the fall. I even want you to write to them and tell them that you are concerned with maybe the care that our veterans are getting, both active while they're serving, their right to have the free choice to refuse things like the COVID vaccine, and what's happening when they come back. What is your community doing when they come back? I want you to reach out to your local congressman. Put it in their ear, because they do, some people think that our leaders really don't listen. You know what they listen to? They listen to election years coming up, and they need your vote, and then you'd be surprised how much their ear opens up in that.
Sometimes it takes a couple times too, because it's like marketing. You have to touch a voter 7 times. And I know it's weird, but you gotta talk to them about 7 times before they kind of get it. Like, oh, okay, this is the person. So do the same thing with the homework.
And you can reach out to them if you go to their website. You can reach out to them. Usually there's the link to get through email, and also there's their phone number. They usually have a local number for right there in your district, which right now a lot of them are home, probably back in your district. And then there's also a number in Washington, D.C. where you can reach them. I would flood all 3 is what I would do. Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and pray because we like to wrap it up with prayer. I hope you join us. Before we do that, I want to thank our provider for food.
Yes.
For the good grub.
Speaking of good food,
Someone's waiting for me.
Good food. We have a wonderful partner here in Florida, Cape Hayes Tavern, and I love them because they're not afraid to bring their belief in God and country right there to their business. So I want you to visit them, CapeHayesTavern.com. Thank you for the yummy food. We so appreciate it. Are you ready to pray?
Ready.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Join us at home. All right. Thank you, Lord, for this day, and I thank you for this wonderful opportunity to have the airwaves to be able to talk about topics that are important to us. Lord, I want to reach out right now and speak directly in alignment for your word and protection over those that serve in the military, those that have served in the past, those that serve right now as first responders, even our teachers, Lord. I just pray a special blanket of protection over them. I send your angels. I command your angels, Lord, to not only go across the border here in the United States, but over our first responders and our men and women in military all throughout the country. Father God, I pray that you protect them. I pray that your protection is over Israel. I pray that you give the leaders of our country, especially those in the military, that you give them godly wisdom, guidance, and discernment in how to move forward. And Lord, if there's leaders in this country that are not submitting their will to yours, then I pray, Lord, we pray in agreement, Lord, that you remove them and you seat those that will. Thank you, Lord, that we are women who are prepared for such a time as this. And I thank you, Lord, for these wonderful, godly women. It's in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. All right. So join that Facebook group. I want you to go to thehomefront.tv. We'll have a Facebook link there. Go to our closed group. We're excited to hear some of your feedback and some of your questions. I also want to invite you, if you'd like to sit here, like literally right here with Tanya or with Allie.
Come on.
If you would like to come in, to our studio,
Tell us your story.
yeah, drop us a line on that Facebook group. We look forward to hearing from you. Till next time, we're here daily. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us here on the Homefront.
Bye.